Everything that you're looking at right now came from doing things that I hated and then doing those for a very long time. You don't get this life by just doing what you feel like doing. Most people see this. They think it's luck, or they think it's talent, or they think that it's connections. It's not. It's discipline when it really sucks. Because in the beginning, it doesn't look anything like this. Not even close. There's those days when it's very boring and you're wishing and hoping just for some work, some phone calls, something. One man's emergency is another man's paycheck. I've gotten a lot of good out of all those boring days too. Very often, almost always. I work about 14 hours a day. And so that'll start from about, let's just pretend 7 a.m. for easy explanation, and ends at 9 p.m. And I do have to eat something in there. But generally, my lunch can be split over a period of like 2 hours because I get so many, just call after call after call after call after call. This employee called for that employee called for that employee called for that employee called for that, and then you called me too, and then that employee called that, and then that employee called for that. And I get 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15 minutes in between. They just don't get to see and understand that. And they're like, what's wrong with you? Why you gotta take a 2-hour lunch? And then, did you realize I had 7 phone calls during that time? My lunch was warm in the beginning, but you know, it was cold after the second phone call. So it ain't so bad when I had some boring days when I could actually sit there and I was able to enjoy my lunch, and I was able to take come into work late, leave a little early, go to the gym when it was still sun outside. I'm talking in the summer when it's like 9 p.m. when the sun goes down and it's completely dark at 10, and you go to the gym at midnight. There's going to be those days when you're going to work, and you're going to work, and you're going to work, and you're going to work hard. You're going to be so busy, but you're getting no results. Nothing's happening. It's all preparation. It's like, yay, I redid the contract for the bids for the business, or I had some meetings with the people who help us with our website, or Google search and so forth, and yay, that might see some results in 3, 6, 2 years, who knows. Yeah, there's certainly been those days when you just get literally no results and you feel like you're just going backwards. The bills keep coming in and keep coming in and keep coming in and keep coming in and keep coming in. Did I say the bills keep coming in? But the money can sometimes just come in waves, just whenever it feels like it. I can't even tell you how many times I've doubted myself. I've always pulled through. I have always pulled through, and I remind myself of this. Wait a second, what are you worried about? It's always worked out 100 times in the last year, 10,000 times over your whole life, and you thought, oh, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? But it worked out, and it's okay. It just shows that we're human beings. I like to think of all of the challenges and the situations that make us worry. Like, for example, where's the money going to come in to pay that bill? And I look at it all as just practice to build your faith. I've had a lot of doubts in myself, had a lot of doubts in other people, but it really kind of didn't make much of a difference. The doubt really made basically no difference. Just basically did nothing. It was just like going to happen. Whatever's going to happen happened, and it happened, and it's done. Whether it was good or it was bad, it didn't matter what you thought. It didn't matter what you felt. That's kind of what it seems like. Now, I'm not saying you can't have some influence on this stuff, okay? I'm just saying it's like, you're just worried for nothing. You negative goal set for nothing. It was all just nothing. It was just poof. It was just a waste of time. That's the part that nobody wants. You're not behind. You're just early to the hard part. You're going to get a bunch of people that are going to slander you. They're going to say hurtful, bad things about you. Maybe they're baseless. Maybe they got some validity to them. But you're just going to have to be able to understand that that's going to be a part of the success process. Envy and jealousy. Discipline feels like punishment until it becomes power. You're going to have those customers who are going to tell you that you have to do it their way. They have zero experience of what they're doing, but they think that they know better than you do. How can they come out and have such, imagination to be able to tell you how you got to do your work? But that's just the way that it goes sometimes. You gotta be able to tell them, well, you sure you want to look at the consequences of, if we do that this way, this is gonna happen there. Most people don't fail. They just stop too soon. Let's just be real. How many people have you seen that just didn't maybe have a good strategy or something? And there's validity to this. But I think from my experience is that most people, they just stop too soon. You're gonna get a lot of bad reviews. It's just gonna be a part of the process. Sometimes people just need some special attention, or sometimes they just fall through the cracks. It's inevitable, but you're gonna get the bad reviews. Some of these you can be able to work away, but some of them are gonna be so irate, so irrational, so emotional, and just reacting that there's just no persuading them, and that's just the way that it's gonna be. Comfort now is going to cost you everything later. Customers are often wanting to go with the lowest price, and they're going to skip on the efficiency, then the quality. And then you try to express to them that if you do this, this is what you're giving up. And then here's the long-term ramifications of being able to do that. And then they're just like, ho hum, I don't care. Okay, sometimes I don't care. But then sometimes they're gonna come back at you and say, hey, why'd you do this to me? What? I didn't do that to you. What are you talking about? And tried to persuade you otherwise. Like, we had this entire conversation. How'd you forget the conversation? I could understand if somebody missed a point or something like, oh, I didn't understand that. Oh, you should have explained it to me better. But then when you have an entire conversation, having that part, trying to persuade them, hey, you really want the quality over here. Hey, you really want the efficiency over there. But then they, no, I know better. I just want the cheapest price, that's a period. Well, where was the money then for the long-term satisfaction? This didn't all come from motivation. It came from showing up and doing the work when I couldn't care less. Some customers are gonna come at you and they just want it for free, and that's it, period. I just want it for free. And I know what I'm doing, and I'm looking for an excuse just to bitch, moan, and complain, just so I can get discounts. And then still, I'm just gonna pretend and throw a fit that I'm irate and I want everything for nothing. Everybody, it doesn't matter if it's a chiropractor or a lawyer or a contractor, they're all gonna experience this. And even if you do give them a discount or all their money back, they still bitch and complain. And then they use it as validation that that's why you were wrong, and you express why you were wrong by giving them the discount. The life you want is hidden in the parts that you're avoiding. For an example, if you wanted to go and approach a beautiful woman as a guy, what you're wanting is right there, but you have to overcome your fear to be able to approach her. And then, oh man, we could talk about so much about rejection. Dude, some of them are gonna be so nice and okay, well, thank you, I appreciate it. Okay, it's not, I'm not your fit, it's bad timing, whatever it may be. But then there are some of the ladies that are just gonna be just irate. They're gonna turn into Godzilla on you. What did I do to deserve that? But you know what? You ain't looking at the losses. You're looking at the yeses. And if you don't quit and you keep going, things are gonna start to happen. And then one day, you're just gonna look around and you're gonna notice that life is completely upgraded.